What is up, YouTube? Your boy is back. Today was an okay day. Honestly, a lot of toxicity. That's what I really want to talk about is trying to avoid toxicity um and how it can affect your day because it totally threw me off and caused me to give terrible results. So let's see. So I took 5 trades, down $19. Not much. The account's now at 2029. I also took damage due to obviously the trades, commissions. But Micron right here looks nice and beautiful, doesn't it? 155. This is actually the trade that just put me in such a funk. Like the toxicity killed me on this trade. Yeah, I made money on it, but it had a lot to do with how I traded Nvidia, to be honest, due to the frustration that Micron was causing, right? So let's go into Nvidia and then we'll get to Micron since I made money on it. So, first trade of Nvidia, and I'm calling her the dancing queen today because she was ridiculous. So here you can see, let me go ahead and get my drawing tool out. You can see that I wanted the upside breakout from yesterday's range, so I jumped into this candle right here, the 5420. So it's 20 seconds into this red candle, anticipating a run up, and we never got it. It pulled straight back down. My stop was here. My stop technically should have triggered here, but it didn't trigger there yet. It triggered on this candle when it went all the way down here. I think it triggered. So my stop could have been tighter on this one as well to just not have lost the 20%, but still nonetheless, it was a 20% of the position, so it was still a good loss. But I had saw that we were trying to break out of yesterday's range and it got up here. So with this powerful candle coming off of the moving averages of the 20 and the 8, busting through the 200 on the 2-minute, I'm like, oh yeah, we're going up, we're getting in there. And this was the first trade I took on Nvidia. So I have 4 trades on Nvidia, 1 on Micron. This is the first trade. I took this at 9.54. My Micron trade that I took before this that caused the toxicity, I took at 9.34. So Micron's already messing with my head around at this time for 20 minutes. So I see this, I get a little too happy because I technically didn't break yesterday's range. I'm in yesterday's range, right? Look at this, we're in yesterday's range. This is all of yesterday's data. We're still in this range. I never get over it. And it pulls back in and goes to the lower part of that range. Literally four candles later, 8 to 10 minutes later, it does the complete reversal, and we're back at the low of the range. So next time for this trade, I want to make sure we break out of the range entirely and completely, then jump in, or wait for the next pullback, then jump in. So that's how that trade could have went better, and I could have handled it a lot better. On to the next, some more Nvidia. So as you can still see, we're still in this range that it's created, right? From yesterday and today's, right? 45 minutes at the closing, we're in this range. So I actually jump in on this candle, not this one. I drew that off, but I jump in on this one that extends through the low and busts through the low of the day, right? So I'm like, oh, low of the day, breaking the ranges, looks like we want to go puts. So I go ahead and get into some puts here. But little and behold, I got in at 33 seconds of the candle. So 33 seconds of the candle, we were like down here or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, this is getting juicy. But I didn't wait. I didn't wait for the candle to close. So in the next minute and a half, all of the price action goes right back up and it makes this doji. Now, if I hadn't been stubborn, because I remember seeing this and being like, oh man, that was a reverse sign. I should have closed at the loss, whatever I was at the end of this candle, just closed it at this loss and went long and put my stop down here. because I don't know if you're paying attention today, Nvidia just basically went this way after this. But I was toxic. I was like, no, I can't lose this one too. I just got beat up here. You know, Micron is doing what it's doing to me mentally. So I'm like, you know, what's going to happen here? But I needed to wait for the candle to close. That was the biggest takeaway from this trade, is if I would have waited for this candle to close, I would have never gone short. I would have never gone short if I would have just waited for the last 10 seconds of that candle. Last 10 seconds of the candle, make your decision up then and there. It would have been a much better decision had I just jumped straight in on the 33-second mark, right? Stops up here, it gets violated right here. I'm out. I'm out of the trade. Still, nonetheless, 20% of my position, so I did take a good loss. However, I could have gotten out of this as soon as I saw that reverse and maybe saved, you know, a little bit of money there, instead of waiting for it to trigger. That was that trade. Next one, another Nvidia, and I'm still toxic. I was toxic the whole day, and that's what really bothered me. I should have just walked away a lot earlier, but I stayed in. This one I did not take a good loss. I remember moving my stop up a little bit because I was just taking losses after losses. But as you can see, that signal I said where like, hey, look, it's a bottom doji. Look what Nvidia did after that. Boom. Just super rally into the highs and over the day. Here's where the day's range was. So honestly, I should have been jumping into a call right here. Guess what I didn't do? I did not get into a call right there. Why? Because I was still looking at the Micron and I was just so frustrated and I was just like, what happened here? Like, I just felt really disappointed and I didn't take the trade. I was just, my mind wasn't there, you know? So I didn't take that trade. This isn't this trade. I actually tried to reverse and go to the downside and buy some puts. So this candle came in right here. I'm thinking to myself, oh man, this could be juicy. Let's get puts. Wrong. That was a mistake because this red bar did not take out 5 bars or more. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. It tried to take out the 4th bar, did not succeed. The bears did not have full control. This is not a solid bar like this. It has a wick. Tells me bears were not fully in control. I didn't see that though. I'm just like, ooh, this went down. I didn't take the 5. I should have noticed that right away, but I didn't take the 5. And I also didn't have full control. So then I ended up taking I'm still not in my right mind. I take a put here and I put my stop above. So I enter in here, put stop above. Literally the next 2 minutes rips my face off and bam, I'm out of the trade. Took a loss of 84. Technically, I moved the stop. I remember my stop being like closer to here and it broke. It was about to break and I was like, let's move it up just a little bit more. And bam, it violated it still and caused an 84 loss instead of the 64 loss, which is what I should have took. So moving my stops around, that's also another sign of just me not being strict to the trading plan. You know, that's what I need to do. I need to keep my stops in place, and I need to watch out on my entries. My entries are the most important aspect of the trading, which will cause me to get my stop loss right and where to have that's thin line of stop loss. But if I'm not getting my entries right, it's gonna mess up everything for the trade. So that was the Nvidia trade. And then finally I decided to join the party with Nvidia and I got a win, but just at what cost? It's terrible. So I enter in when this red, I'm like, this is ultimately where the best entry would have been, but that was also where my puts got kicked out. Maybe I should have been like, hey, you know what? Boom, go long. So my next good long position was chance or opportunity was this red bar here. As soon as this green bar took over this red bar, I was like, all right, I'm jumping in. So I jumped in as soon as this green took over this red. And then boom, boom, I just sold. So you can see I got in at 11:15. So the bar had maybe 20 more seconds to close. So it closed. The next one opened, 30 seconds in, sold, 43, sold, minute in, sold. On the next new bar, 40 seconds in, sold, and then sold kind of at the top of that next bar right here. This resulted in a gain. It wasn't the, I should have had a gain of 88 had I stuck to my 20% rule, but I didn't even get to 20%. I think I got up to just like 13%. And I was just like, you know what? I'm tired. The day has been kicking me around. I have been trading like a new, straight up new, like it's my first day here at the market. And you could see it in the way I executed this trade, and not catching this when I was waiting for it the whole time. And I just got in my head, and I remember seeing it happen, and I remember thinking, like, right in here, I was just like, oh, we got this boost, and I'm like, it could be a fake out again, and instead of just going in, boom, buy, stop, you know, like, just terrible to see this unfold and not take advantage of it, you know what I mean? So this is what I got out of it, and you know, it's that 13%, so it's whatever. It is a win. Brought me a little bit from the dark, but the main culprit of the day, the one that brought me into toxicity, Micron. So Micron was my first trade. You can see I got in at 9:34. So this would be this candle right here, and I got in 25 seconds into the candle. So I believe price was probably around this spot, and I was like, oh, I need to get in. Bam, I got in. I'm pretty sure my stop was somewhere in here, my first initial stop, because I kept moving it down, and that was another part of the toxicity of this trade too. I should have just took, when it's reversed on me, I should have just took the loss and then just looked somewhere else, because I wouldn't have been in this crap until here when I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting to the top again, and that would have I would have already been in a better mental state the entire day, but I wasn't. This killed me, and then I moved my stop, and I was starting to get mad at myself. Oh, why am I moving my stop? I moved my stop again. Finally, I noticed was like, hey, the best stop would be this green bar right here to make sure we don't go under it. You know, that's what I saw, that's what I noticed, and then bam, we go under it. And what do? I still hold on to the trade. I changed my stop again. I think my stop was somewhere down here, and that was just causing toxicity. So now I'm thinking, because we're out of yesterday's range, and that's the only reason why I took this, because I was like, oh, breakout. We have no data on this side at all for yesterday, so we're going higher, right? That's what I'm thinking. And we get this stop, we pull back into the beginning of the day's price action. So I'm like, okay, maybe now we push back up. So I actually add here, as soon as green takes over this red towards the 20 EMA coming off, and I added, how many contracts? I added 2 more contracts. Boom, boom. So here I was not profitable, because these contracts, when they were up here, were very expensive, as opposed to when I bought them down here. So this move didn't bring me back from the dead. This move scared the crap out of me. This move, we went all the way down, back up. I was like, oh yeah, we're going back up. And I was remembering about adding here. I was almost about to add here. Then we shoot up here, and then we reverse and go all the way back down. And I'm like, this is when I really started getting toxic. I was like, this is a terrible trade. What am I in right now? Right? And So I see we're kind of, consolidating, so I'm sticking through the trade, but at this point, your mind is racing, right? You're thinking about all the things you should have done. I'm also taking losses on Nvidia during this time, and I'm realizing the losses I'm taking on Nvidia. All my losses on Nvidia were bad entries. And why were they bad entries? Probably because I still was looking at this trade and constantly kept thinking, oh, I need to get out of this trade. This trade is killing me. It's reversed. I keep moving my stop. I'm like babysitting this trade when I should have just put my stop in. Boom, move to the next, come back, revisit the trade. How did it turn out? And not babysitting this and holding its hand and moving the stop down. That was the wrong way to approach it. I should have just, because at one point in time, I'm pretty sure here, I was down about $200. Here, I was down about $200. And I was just like, that is breaching my maximum amount of loss I want to take on one trade. And it got ugly. And that's kind of where I started kicking myself, beating myself up. Nonetheless, I do stick with it. Unfortunately, I shouldn't have. I stuck with it. We come up here, I still don't make a move, but we pull back into here, and then I add one more contract. Boom, right in here when green takes over. And then Zeus, 20% out some contracts and out some more, because I was just like not even having it anymore. I could have held this because Micron goes up even more. I'm just at this point upset. I'm toxic. I don't want to trade anymore. I have exhausted my mental energy, and that's what's important about trading, is you need to hold on to your mental energy from start to finish. Trades like this, when you know you should have, it's not even the trade, it's you broke your rules. It's when you know you're breaking your rules and inside of your head you're just like, I broke my rule. That causes toxicity. It causes you to do other dumb things and causes you to not have your eye on the prize, and get mentally drained. So that was the day today for me. Overall, I handled it decently, but these are the type of days I'm going to avoid, because this money is borrowed money right here. This money is borrowed money. Yeah, it worked out now, but who's to say when it goes down? I added down. Now I'm like, okay, where am I gonna get out now? Am I gonna move my stop all the way down here to yesterday's low to see what it does here? Am I gonna add contracts here just to see it bounce back up and then go right back down again? It's a slippery slope. It's all borrowed money. It's I should have stuck to this stop. I knew it broke it here. Reevaluated, waited. I could have took this one again and had my stop under here. That would have at least given me a better price, because now I'm not having 4 contracts at $98. I would have had 4 contracts or 6 contracts depending on. I actually probably would have gotten more aggressive after losing, which I really don't want to do, but that would have even been a better entry in writing this price all the way up to this price. You know what I'm saying? Instead of holding on to these 4 contracts from the beginning of the day that murdered me. So, hope you guys understand all that, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I wish we had trading tomorrow, but it's 4th of July, so happy 4th. Hope you guys join the family. I'm going to keep these going. Peace, love, and respect. Catch y'all in the next one.